Hi, welcome to the Level 1 Technique section. These stretching and strengthening exercises are designed for those of you who are experiencing hip pain or just doing the DVD for the first time. You may just want to watch the exercises first prior to trying them, especially if you're having significant pain. For this program, you'll need an exercise mat or a soft carpeted floor, a small pillow for support, a towel, and a sturdy chair. Again, we suggest you use a sturdy kitchen or desk chair. During our warm-up phase, a heating pad might also be helpful. And after the program, placing an ice pack on the area for approximately 10 to 15 minutes is often recommended. Always wear comfortable clothing and appropriate athletic footwear. Again, please check with your physician prior to doing these exercises. If you experience significant pain, stop what you're doing. Let's follow Emily as she demonstrates the exercises. This exercise is for the hip flexors. Standing in front of the chair with your left leg forward and your right foot resting on another chair, which you will need for this exercise, 1 to 2 feet behind you. Slowly bring your hips forward to where you feel a stretch in the front of your right thigh. Keep this leg stretched out behind you. A slight arch of the back will help accentuate the stretch that you should feel again in the front of the right hip. This is helping to stretch your quadriceps and other hip flexors. You will hold this position for 15 seconds and return to the more upright position. Okay, let's do that again. Lean forward, left leg slightly bent, right leg behind you, holding this for 15 seconds, and then return to the standing position. This stretch is for the hamstrings. We will do a static stretch, standing with your feet shoulder width apart and your knees slightly bent. Bend at your hips and lean over. If needed, use your hands to help support your upper body. Continue down until you begin to feel a gentle stretch in the back of your thighs or your hamstrings. You may also feel this in your lower back. Get to a point where you feel a pulling sensation. It is very important not to bounce. Keep your back neutral. Take a nice deep breath while holding this position for a count of 15, and then slowly using your hands for assistance, rise back up. Let's do this one more time, pivoting at the hips. Let's go down, hands for support, feeling the stretch in the back and the lower hamstrings. We'll count to 15, and now slowly bring it back up. We will perform 2 stretches on your calf, one for your gastrocnemius and one for your soleus. Facing a chair, using hands for support, place your left leg forward, slightly bent, and your right leg comfortably 1 to 2 feet behind you. Keep that back leg straight with your heel firmly on the ground. Hips should be straight and facing the chair. Now gently lean your hips towards the chair. You should feel a gentle pull in the upper calf or gastrocnemius. No bouncing, and hold for 15 seconds and return. Let's do that again. Bend that left knee forward, hips towards the chair, heel on the ground, feeling a stretch in the right calf. We will hold this for 15 seconds, and now back to the upright position. The next stretch is the bent knee calf stretch. In the standing position, utilizing the chair for support, place feet shoulder width apart. Bend your knees forwards towards the chair with both heels on the ground. Toes should be pointing forward. Keep your knees gently bent and lean towards the chair. You should now feel the stretch in the lower calf or the soleus muscle. We will hold this position for 15 seconds and return to the starting position. Let's do that one again. Knees slightly bent, leaning forward towards the chair, Feet straight, heels on the ground. We will hold again for 15 seconds, and now let's return to the upper standing position. This stretch is for the adductors or inner thighs. Sitting on the floor with your feet out in front, place your feet together. Keep your back straight, holding your ankles, and now use your elbows to push your knees gently to the floor. There may be asymmetry to your hips, and one might be tighter or higher off the ground. This may be normal or represent hip tightness. Push down until you feel a stretch. You will hold this position for 15 seconds and relax. Let's bring that back up. Let's go back down. If this seems too difficult, you may do each leg individually. Let's hold this for 15 seconds and now return to the seated position. This stretch is for the lower back. We will perform 2 exercises. This area can be tight and problematic, especially with hip pain. Lying on your back with your hands behind your right leg, gently pull your right knee to your chest until a comfortable stretch is felt in the lower back and buttocks. The left leg should be straight out in front of you. You will hold this position for 15 seconds while taking nice deep breaths and relaxing into the stretch. Let's bring the leg back down and repeat this again. Let's bring the knee up towards the chest, comfortably pulling, feeling the stretch in the buttocks and lower back region. Let's relax and bring the leg back down. This exercise is intended on stretching your lower back. Lying on your back, knees slightly bent, both feet together on the floor. Gently rotate your knees to the right. You will hold this position for 15 seconds, and then we will rotate up backwards. Let's do that one more time. Lean to the right. Hold this for 15 seconds, and then bring your knees back up towards the center. The next series of exercises are for strengthening the hip. We start with the simple exercises so that we can progress to more difficult ones. If you feel fatigued and are not able to hold the position, then relax and recover. It is better to perform these exercises with proper technique and help avoid further injury. This exercise is the straight leg raise intended for quadricep strength. Lay down on your back and bend your left knee so that your foot is comfortably on the ground. Your right leg should be out straight. You will tighten your quadriceps so as to perform what we call a quadricep set. Keep your foot pointed up. Now lift that right leg 6 to 12 inches from the ground, and you will hold this position for 5 seconds and slowly bring it down. Let's bring it down. Relax the quadriceps. Now let's tighten the quadriceps. Foot pointed up, lift it back up. We'll hold this for 5 seconds and then bring it back down. This exercise is for the abductors. It is referred to as the side leg raise. Lay on your left side and use your arm for support. Hold your leg straight by tightening your quadriceps and pointing your toes upwards. Now lift that right leg 6 to 12 inches up to the side and hold this position for 5 seconds and relax. Now bring it down. Let's lift this leg back up again, 6 to 12 inches. We want to make sure that the leg is straight with the body. We're tightening our quadriceps, and let's bring that back down. This exercise is for strengthening the adductors and is referred to as the inner thigh leg raise. Lay on your right side. Place your left foot behind your right knee. Now tighten your right thigh muscle and lift that leg 6 to 12 inches off the ground. you'd like to try and keep that leg that's lifted close to the other leg. Try to pull your foot up or dorsiflex so as to help hold that knee straight. We'll hold this for 5 seconds and bring the leg back down. Let's relax the quadriceps. Let's do this again. Let's tighten the quadriceps, point the toes, bring the leg close to the other leg, 6 to 12 inches off the ground. We'll hold this for 5 seconds and return to the starting position. This exercise is intended to strengthen the gluteus or the buttocks. This is hip extension. Lay on your stomach with a small pillow under your belly for support. Hands should be comfortably in front of you. Now straighten the right leg using the buttocks and the thigh and lift the leg 6 inches off the ground. Hold this position for 5 seconds and then relax. We'd like to make sure that that pillow is underneath our belly to help support our lower back. Again, let's lift our leg upwards, holding this position for 5 seconds, and let's return to the starting position. Lay on your stomach like before, with the small pillow again low down and under your belly. Bend your knees so that your feet are at 90 degrees and in the air. Now, try to push your feet together and ankles together as if they are going against one another. You are performing an isometric contraction of the hip rotators. Hold this position for 5 seconds and now relax and bring the legs back down. Let's bring the legs back up. Try and squeeze the ankles and the feet together again, activating the internal rotators of the hip. We will hold this for 5 seconds and now relax. This exercise is intended to strengthen the hip external rotators. Lying on your stomach again with a small pillow under your belly, you will assume a similar position, but now you will cross your feet. Try now to push them together, activating the external rotators. You will hold this position for 5 seconds and then relax. You can keep your feet in this position and rest comfortably. Let's try that again, pushing them together, holding that for 5 seconds, and now relax. This exercise is intended upon strengthening your adductors or the inner thigh muscles. Sitting in a chair comfortably, place a small pillow or folded towel between your knees. Squeeze the pillow and hold this for 5 seconds. And relax. We will do this one more time, concentrating on the inner thighs. Let's squeeze together. Hold that position for a slow count of 5 and now relax. This next exercise is intended on strengthening the abductors or the side muscles of the hip. Sitting in a chair, place your hands on the outsides of your knees. You will now force your knees apart against you holding resistance. You will hold this for 5 seconds and then relax. Okay, let's do this again. You want to sit up straight. You want to use those side muscles. Open up those legs. Don't let them go. You will hold this for a count of 5 and then relax. This exercise is intended to strengthen your core. Sitting in a chair with your arms folded across your chest, and while using your core, including your lower back, hips, and abdomen, try to slowly stand up. It may be helpful at first to scoot forward on the chair. and even place one foot forward to stand up and sit back down. If necessary, you can actually use the arms of the chair for assistance. Let's do this one more time. As we do this, let's hinge at the waist, leaning slightly forward, getting our body weight over our thighs, and let's stand up. Now let's sit back down. Let's repeat this one more time. Let's lean forward and slowly, using the core, stand back up, and slowly, in a controlled fashion, sit back down. You have now completed the technique section. Please watch this again until you feel comfortable with these exercises.